Spain. Welcome to the Ramble On
Yes,
podcast, mate. How you going?
thank you very much for having me. Yeah, doing well for Saturday morning.
Yeah, well, this is the third episode now of the podcast. I've done one at 11 p.m. I've done one in the afternoon, and now I've done one in the morning. So I guess
Yeah,
see how they all go, weigh them up, and pick a time from there. Tell me, mate,
fantastic.
how did you prepare for this one? Well, any first?
Yeah, look, mate. I was lying in bed last night, just flashbacking on all the memories, I guess, from sport and life. Obviously, yeah, just really keen. Obviously, hopefully deliver and nail everything on the head. Yeah, when you obviously said to me last week that you wanted me to get me on the show, I was pretty excited. I'm also very humbled by that. So, yeah, mate. Look, I've just been playing some old school 60s music as well.
Oh, love that, mate. Love that. And you got the coffee in hand?
Yeah, got the teeth.
Yeah. Oh,
Got
tea.
the,
Tea in
bit
the
of
morning.
pepper. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I have to have a coffee in the morning to get me going. Mate, we've got a long history together. We go back to under 10s when you came down to St. Paul's. It was my third year at the club, I think.
Yeah.
So growing up, what was the biggest influence on you wanting to play sport and I guess footy? What was the choice to play football?
Yeah, footy's always been a massive interest of mine. Funny enough, my grandfather actually played in the reserves for Melbourne Demons, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he was actually a ruckman. So we've got a little bit of that in the family, and I think obviously, yeah, being brought up with that from a young age, being a Demons fan was something I really wanted to pursue. And then, yeah, obviously in primary school, obviously, yeah, just wanted to feel that, sense of belonging a bit and really get into sport. And all my mates at the time were playing AFL, so that's what got me down to St. Paul's.
Yeah, brilliant. You're a Folkestone boy yourself, were you?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, Folkestone.
Yeah,
One of the biggest schools in the little southeast pocket we live in.
yeah. Now I'm just remembering, I think you went to Southmore, was it?
That's a good memory, mate. Southmore Primary School. I did go
Yeah.
there. Unbelievable to think that my grade 6 year there was 20. I think there was 23 kids. 23
right.
kids in my grade 6 year. Like, we were a tiny school in comparison to Folkestone, and funnily enough, I actually do have tabs on a couple people I finished grade 6 with. There's a few still in the area that I still see pop up on social media now and again.
Yeah.
And there's one guy I went from kinder all the way through to high school pretty much with, which is, I guess, it's a long friendship there as well. And being 11 years out of school now, is there any mates that you went to primary school with that you're still very close with?
Yeah, lost a lot of contact with a lot of people. I was the only guy. I went to St. James after that. I was the only guy from that school, from Folkestone. Went to, I guess, a Catholic all-boys school.
Yeah.
A lot of them went to like Bentley or McKinnon. Yeah, the only guy I still keep in contact with is Sam Gates.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so he was a good footy player.
Yeah, nice Paul's product right there.
Yeah. So, yeah, our friendship, we try meet up maybe once a year for a beer or something, watch the footy. But that's about it. We're obviously on our own paths of life. And yeah, same as you said, you see a lot of people pop up on social media, but yeah, I've actually probably lost contact with a lot of them people.
Yeah.
And yeah, probably more the high school guys. Still got a close friendship group with that.
And you're a St. James by St. Bede's, weren't you?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It was like brother school, and then yeah, you have a follow through. D-Lar as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a good segue that you mentioned there, catching up with Sammy for a beer, because I've got the ISO beer stuff here, mate.
Got me tea on. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Let's jump into that. Now, you just started this business during lockdown.
Correct. During isolation, hence
that's
the
it. Yeah, hence the name. Hence the name. Great name. Great play on words there. Now, what kind of made you want to start a business, and what prompted this idea to get into stubby holders, and now you've got a few more items of merch as well.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's something I've had on the back of my mind. I'd love to, work for myself one day and start my own little side hustle. Honestly, I've had a few people ask me the same question, like, how'd you think of it? Funny enough, mate, it was literally not like a traditional business idea where you're planning for like 6 months, a year, and then you launch it. I literally thought of it overnight and woke up the next day and was just like, yeah, stuff it. I'm just going to go for it. I had a few creative ideas. Obviously, got the New World Order play there, and then the AFL logo straight down the guts. So I had a few creative ideas, and then since then I've just been rolling with it, chipping away day by day. Like I'm looking at a whiteboard right now where I just write down ideas when they come to my head. And look, it's something. Look, I don't expect to replace my full-time income off it, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. It obviously the idea came to me in isolation. The idea of it is, I'm trying to create good times during shit times. So obviously, we're at a pretty tough stage of our lives at the moment. But yeah, if I can add a little bit of joy and fun to that. Obviously, I've done a few funny videos and stuff, which has got some cool feedback.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Carl Barron videos. And with the ISO beers, the stubby holders, I've got a couple here. There's as you said, the NWO one. There's the old school AFL logo as well. So obviously a lot of this stuff is inspiration from your childhood. There's the solo ISO beers one as well. So the Chicago beer, the Bulls one as well.
Yeah, I've got it actually up here. I've got a few up here.
Yeah, show it. Yeah,
it is. So can't roll the Bulls when you're as pissed as a puppy. But I bought this one out. Obviously, this is when the Michael Jordan doco came out during isolation. So trying to do stuff that affiliates with it. Just did the Father's Day one. I've got a few more up my sleeve that I'm going to go launch. So, yeah, just have some fun. I'd love to get something where we can go have house parties again, like people walking around with them would be pretty cool. Just have some fun with it.
And that's a great thing that you say there, mate. It's about having some fun. It's about creating that sense of ownership as well. And hopefully, I guess, the new dream, work for yourself, because working for the man can get pretty tiresome. It's always good to be in charge of your own destiny. Now, tell me, what's the best seller? Which stubby holder's the best seller? I've seen that you've flicked a few across interstate. There's a couple going international too.
Yeah, I've had a few mates in America get around it, which has been cool. I don't think they knew what ISO actually was. I had to explain, obviously as Aussies, we love to abbreviate everything. So isolation. Look, got the traditional, got a few up here. Got the traditional logo one that's sold out a few times.
Nice.
The ice cold beers, new best mate. And then also the footy one. That was pretty hot property. And I guess obviously a lot of mates in Melbourne love their AFL, so that's been pretty cool.
And where can people find you on Instagram? What's the tag? It's at ISO_beers?
Correct, yeah. And I built a website as well, so that was a pretty cool challenge for me. So now I've got a website on Shopify. So yeah, the link will be in the bio there. So head to it, and whoever's listening, there's a cheeky discount for you as well for your first order.
There we go. So are we got a little discount code you're going to provide for the listeners?
Yeah, it's already on there because it'll notify you if you're a first-time customer.
Okay.
Which is pretty smart. And then it'll pop up. So
well, there you go. We're going to do some cross promotion here. We've got ISO beers, and as well, I've got my man Aaron Holman, Landscape Designs. You know Aaron Holman. You would have met him down at Woodford.
Yeah, I've been cross paths.
He said to say g'day, and I've got a little promotion. If anyone hires Mr. Aaron Holman for some landscape work around their property, I will come down and get on the wheelbarrow. There you go.
Get on the
tool. A little incentive for the listeners as well, mate. That's great to hear about the ISO beers. I'm a big fan. I've really enjoyed the Carl Barron parodies you do. So Carl Barron's the number one comedian of yours?
Yeah, absolutely. There probably hasn't been one segment that I haven't just pissed myself laughing to.
He's a very funny man, Carl. So
Yeah.
let's rewind back the clock now. We're going to go back to the under 10s, and mate, I'm going to ask some hard questions here
Yeah.
because I
Please
don't
do.
remember much of me being a 10-year-old. But how did it feel coming into a new environment? Obviously, you knew a few of the boys there already, so that helps a bit. But coming into a new environment and starting your sporting journey outside of school.
Yeah, look, I lived for it. You know, for me, that was like such the biggest thing at the time, being able to play in a team sport. St. Paul's was really good. I remember, I think I went to watch a game. I still remember this. And who was the coach? I think it was Peter Strecker was the coach at the time. And he's just chucks me a jersey. And he's like, yeah, mate, hopefully we'll see you in a few weeks playing. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, so I already felt that sense of belonging. So I've still got that clear memory, in my head. Yeah, look, it was great, mate. Had heaps of fun. What did I do? 3 years there. I wish I had kept playing, but the 13-year-old Mikey probably felt a bit insecure towards that time, and wanted to give it up. So yeah.
Yeah, and we actually went out on top there for you. We had a premiership in the under 13s. That's an awesome feeling. You don't win too many premierships. I think I'm 2 from 9 in my football career.
Yeah.
So with the decision to quit, what aspects weighed into that decision?
Yeah, good question. I guess, yeah, I'll just go back to what you said about not winning many premierships, but you definitely probably won a fair few best and fairest. That's all I remember.
I
But,
definitely reached my peak too early. Way too early.
yeah, I remember you dominating. Yeah, look, decisions for me leaving. A big one was, I really wanted to make it feel like I was making an impact towards the game. It was junior footy. You want to obviously, you're there to participate. There's probably times where, I probably need to play like a quarter, out of a whole game. And that kind of probably brought me down at times. And I probably thought, am I actually, do I have that sense of belonging even here? And it was probably, I was just struggling a lot, trying to keep up with the big guys. But yeah, looking back at it, I'm like, Mikey, you were still part of the team. You should have, even getting to play a quarter for a game, it's still unbelievable to be a part of that team. So look, that was probably the main reasoning. Basketball came down the track like 2 or 3 years later. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll jump into the basketball soon because you've talked about success. You've had some great success in basketball. But let's talk about some of the highlights in football first. I have a massive memory and a highlight that you will always be a part of, and I reflect on it often. It was that time that you were running past me and I flicked over the handball and bang, you kicked through your first goal at St. Paul's.
Yeah.
Fantastic moment that was. I remember every single bloke on the field ran down and congratulated you, much as the tradition is in football when someone puts through their first goal. What were some of the other highlights of your football career as a junior? Because I know you did go back and play some senior footy later on.
Yeah. That was definitely a huge highlight. I think that took maybe 2 years to get. So it was well overdue. I do remember that at that day as well. I think everyone, even from the fullback and the back pocket, ran up. That was pretty special. Look, as simple as basic as it is, I think just memories. That pre-game team huddle. Hands around, all the boys running onto the field, hearing your footy boots stomp on like concrete and all that. Just that feeling of running onto the field was pretty special. The premiership was cool as well. And obviously making so many cool teammates as well, and friends along the way.
Absolutely, man. It's great. And what would you say to any young child who is diagnosed with dwarfism about encouraging them to get outside their comfort zone and be involved in sport in their juniors and as well all the way through their life?
Yeah, great question. I think the big one is you can't expect that you're going to, absolutely, um, dominate. You're not going to be your Gary Ablett or your Dustin Martins in your footy years, but you're there to obviously play a role. And look, just go for it. There's going to be times where your self confidence is going to drop. But at the end of the day, you need to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to. And just have a crack, have some fun with that, and just try to put yourself out there. Because there's no point, trying to go in towards your shell, thinking, what if? That's something I've always done. Like, I hate being like, what if? I just love grabbing life and just going for it, and making the most of every situation. So look, you've got nothing to lose on that sense. So yeah, just going for it. Give it a crack.
I think that's an absolute fantastic message just for any young kid. You've got nothing to lose with playing sport. And as you mentioned previously, it's a great way to make lifelong friends and make friends, create memories. And what I see so often, and it really disappoints me, and you're probably in the same boat here, how many of our mates that we played junior sport with now, we're 28, and not playing any sport? They're so sedentary with their life. They're not really doing anything. They might go to the gym every now and again, but they just drop off. And like sport, like you're a competitor. Sport is what drives me. I love it. It's my absolute passion. And I know you're in the same boat, because you're still, to this day, you're still trying new sports.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the basketball career now, and then we'll jump into current day and what you're doing with your physical activity and your sporting pursuits. Now, at 14, you jumped into basketball, and it was an initiative started through MSAC with short people, where you guys competed in an under-16 competition.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
pretty big diversity in there, yeah. So yeah, we'll start on that if you want.
Yep, and with your basketball, how many years did you play basketball for initially?
Yeah, so what was I, 14 to... Yeah, I think it stopped when I was 19.
Yeah.
The competition stopped. And then obviously, the games were every 4 years. It's probably one of those questions, like I always get asked, are you still playing? I'm like, no, I'm not still playing. But like when there's a competition on, you just train up like so hard for it for that 6 months. Yeah. So yeah, there's not really anything ongoing all the time, which, that's something I would love to happen one day. You guys have your footy, you've got a season and whatnot like that. But yeah, it just doesn't happen that way for myself.
And let's jump now into the games, the World Dwarf Games. Your first appearance was in 2009 in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Now
I was in year 11.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
year 11. Competed just in basketball at that one?
Yeah, correct.
Awesome. And from there, you've competed in consecutive games now. You went to the 2013 games, which are in US.
That was held at Michigan State University, which is pretty unreal.
Michigan State, they're the Trojans?
No, they're Spartans.
The Spartans, that's right, USC Trojans. Oh, I got to get on my college sports there. Gee, So 2013, your second games, you're competing in USA now. Already, you're competing for Australia. You're representing your country. Now, that must have been a magical feeling to do initially in 2009, but then again in 2013. Can you tell what is it like to pull on the green and gold?
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing feeling. I think, like the World Games is something I find it so hard to explain, because it's such like you've got to be there to witness it. It's such a special thing and something that's very special to me. But yeah, look, put on the green and gold jerseys, look, a very big honour and something you definitely don't want to take for granted. I think as I'm getting older now, to do that again is something, that you're not going to take for granted. When you're a bit younger, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. But yeah, I think it was very significant, the 2013 games from 2009, like I was just a young pup. And then we actually had some success winning a silver medal against America. And 2013 games, we were like, man, we're in like for a massive chance to win the gold. We actually flunked out, and that hurt so much. Like, we didn't even make the finals because I think our aspiration was we're going to make the finals. But that hurt so much. But that obviously taught me what losing feels like, because losing sucks. And then coming back. But I think what I'm trying to get at, I trained so hard that 2013 games because I had a goal that I really wanted to get. But yeah, unfortunately, didn't get it. But yeah, pretty special.
So the 2013 games, you also competed in athletics that year?
Yeah, competed athletics and swimming.
Swimming as well. And
yeah, so my training was just, just
diverse.
Training.
Yeah.
I was getting up at like 5 a.m. in the morning, training down at Medso Grammar, actually, the Bayside Swimming Club down there. Then I'd get up for uni. I was working 2 jobs. I was trying to fund my way to the games. I was working at a pizza shop, pretty funny, and also in a factory, studying. I'd come home, hit the gym. I was at Woodford at that time as well. Basketball training 3 times a week. Athletics training twice a week after hours as well. So, yeah, it was massive. It was a massive 6 to 8 months. Yeah.
Definitely a very busy time, all at the age of 21.
21, yeah, and I that was obviously a big year for parties and all that, and I sacrificed that year. I think I'm making up for it maybe these days, because I wasn't drinking at all during that stage. I'd really pick and choose when I was, and going to parties and just being that sober, because I had that goal that I wanted to hit. You had that purpose and I had that drive.
And they're the sacrifices you make as an athlete. And look, at the age of 21, to compete on the world stage for the second time, absolutely incredible. And I think it's a really valuable lesson in life, where you compete and you've had some success. As you said, in the 2009, you won a silver medal, and then you came in 2013 thinking, all right, we got this. And sometimes
we're going to be there to the last day.
Absolutely. I come into some grand finals where I've been like, you know what, we're red hot favourites here, and then bang, you lose, and at the end of it, you're sitting there going, well, it's just nothing is. You can't take anything for granted. Like, this could be
nothing's certain.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's.
So really got to savor that moment, and I think the biggest one is just taking it quarter by quarter, game by game, not thinking of the end result. So definitely lessons there. That's life. How you learn lessons as you go on.
Absolutely. And now we're gonna fast track to 2017. This is your third appearance at the games in Canada. There's a lot of stories that come out of this one. Canada, you again, basketball.
Yeah.
How did we fare that year?
Yeah, that was awesome. We definitely bounced back. We beat the Canadians in the bronze medal match. We had a really cool team, really young team. I was the second oldest in the team. So we're coming out.
Oldest statesman.
Me and Nate Stewart. He's a few years older than me. So we did really well. And the next games was actually supposed to be in Germany next year, but due to COVID, it's been postponed. And I was so ready to just do it next year.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Has it been postponed to 2022 or?
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
I think a big reason is, I wouldn't say we're affiliated with the Paralympics, but it's definitely a huge pathway.
Yeah.
Because the Olympics and the Paralympics got delayed to next year, a lot of Paralympians compete at the World Dwarf Games. So, that's obviously why I got pushed back a year, I think, or I'm just assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's also talk about his 2017 games, because it's quite a special games. You decided to put even more on your plate, and you've never been one to shy away from taking opportunities. You competed in soccer as well.
Yep.
How did the soccer team fare?
Yeah, look, we had a really solid team. I was meant to be goalie. Must come from those footy reflexes, I reckon. And I played goalie for 2 games, and then one of our defenders got injured, so they put me in the defense. And then we had another guy just jump in goalie. So I was hoping to play a lot more goalie. That was really tough. England, Germany won it, and I think USA came second. England came third. Soccer was a whole new ball game, especially for me, not really being a part of that. Growing up, I really enjoyed it. A bit like footy. being out there on the grass outdoors was pretty epic. But yeah, we were one game away from the bronze medal match. So I think we came 5th all up.
That's a good result. Australia,
Yeah.
we're not the strongest soccer nation, Australia. You see you've named a few of the big dogs up there. Germany, England, they normally fare well in all competitions of soccer, men's, women's. So
yeah, it's definitely growing, and it's going to be good.
And we got back in the pool this year, and the big one, you achieved the goal of, I guess, anyone who goes to a international games, the gold medal.
Yeah, achieved the gold medal. So that was pretty special. That was amazing. Had some really good guys in the team. One of the guys, I think he's in the Paralympic squad, Rowan, still. So yeah, he was definitely the big anchor for us.
Was Nath Stewart a part of this team?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. The all-round.
Nath Stewart. I hope you listen, Nath.
Yeah, he's going to be listening. I actually messaged him last night, and I'm like, "Yeah, mate, I'm on it. I'm on your podcast today." So he's like, "Yeah, mate, I'll for sure be listening."
He's a great man, Nath, and a great athlete too. So you won the gold in the 4x100, or was it 4x50 or 4x100?
4x50.
4x50, yeah. So already gold medal in the swimming. You've achieved the bronze medal in the basketball.
Yeah.
Games. You've previously won a silver medal as well. Did you get any other medals? Funnily enough, last night the picture popped up from 3 years ago. It was yesterday, 3 years ago, that you came back in the WSSC after your holiday, you and Nathan. We got that photo together. I might actually put that up on the screen right now.
I did see.
It looked like you had more than 2 medals. What was the other medal for?
You are right. There was a little bit of extra silverware on there. So yeah, came home with another silver, the iron in powerlifting.
So I just lost you there. You won the silver in powerlifting.
Correct.
Bench. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Bench.
So, mate, an individual silver. How good. A few team medals and a silver medal as well.
Yeah.
So we've spoken about now the competition side. Actually, I want to dive into one more thing. Can you explain, is there any adjustments of the rules for basketball? Because basketball, I guess you would say, is probably your main sport.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, I get asked that question a lot because, people bleed twice, a short-statured athlete competing in basketball. Look, it's all the same. Normal height regulation for the rim, so 10 foot. Normal size court. Still, we had 10 on a squad. Play with a size 6 ball, which is where the men's play a size 7.
Sorry, my internet's just playing around a bit. I'm going to try jump on something else quickly. 1 sec. There we go. Oh, I think we're good now. Well, that's great to hear, mate. I've been privileged to see you shoot a few hoops, from some videos, and got quite a nice shot on you. What was your role in the basketball team? What position?
Yeah, so I played a 1 or a 2, which is a guard. Initially, I was a point guard in my junior years, in the 2009 and 2013, and then moved on to more of a shooting guard role. So yeah, I was just the mailman. I'm big on the assists. Love the assists. And yeah, just shoot a lot of free field goals and tried to jack up a cheeky 3-pointer when I could. Nice. So yeah, it was good.
the field general. We had another basketball athlete on the show last episode. He was a bit of a general 3-point weapon himself. Mate, we're going to give the competition part of the games a little rest now, and then let's dive into the party side. Yeah, sure. I want to hear some stories of, because I guess it's all fun and games, competition, but then the athletes have got to play as well. What was it like after competition?
Yeah, so it's one of those things, like, it's just an opportunity that you don't want to miss. We're in it's so overwhelming. You rock up and there's like 500 athletes, short-statured athletes from all across the world. And you're just like, oh my God, like, I'm the only one that lives in my suburb kind of thing, and know a few around Melbourne, but to know people from around the world, you get really excited. You're like, I want to meet everyone, but at the same time, you're competitors when you're on the field. But afterwards, you want to get to know them and all that. I'll tell you a funny story, and this is one from 2013. So we had a pretty strict coaching staff. Bit of a curfew, like we are here in Melbourne at the moment, ironically enough. And we had to be in bed by this time and all that stuff. And we got knocked out of our basketball tournament, and we were shattered. But they still wanted us to abide by the rules, and all we wanted to do was have a beer and relax and party. So me and one of my teammates, we were staying in like a dormitory. Actually snuck out that because we'd finished competition. We're like, there's people at the bars, there's girls at the bars waiting for us. we don't want to miss this opportunity, so we snuck out. Heart was racing the whole time. Got to the bars, had an absolute ball of a time. With the girls and with the guys as well. Trying to creep back to our room later on that night, and our coach is just like out the front of our dorms, like hands crossed, being like, "Where are you guys?" Like absolutely drilling us. And we're like, "Look, we got knocked out. Like it's we were shattered." Trying to play the sob story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21-year-old.
Yeah, we had to apologise. We had to apologise to the team the next day. But look, me and my mate, Ryan, actually, he'll probably listen to this. Look, we still laugh about that, and they're stories that you tell as well.
I bet the rest of the team, they were more jealous than disappointed at you guys.
Yeah, they didn't have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
They were. So, yeah, that's a bit of leadership. Maybe not in the best way, but yeah.
Yeah, mate. 21-year-old males, you can't take the innate lifestyle out of them. That you want to party when you're 21, especially when the business is done, the sport's done. You've had a disappointing time. Sometimes the best way to go about it is go out and just sink a few. We know
absolutely.
that.
Have a few Bud Lights. But I think it's more, it's just because it's a 1 in every 4 year opportunity. You train so hard for it, but then you get there and you're like you just don't want to miss a moment.
So, Mike, when I was having a look, because we mentioned our mate Nathan Stewart, I see that he holds one of the world records for the games for the 100-meter sprint. Now, there's 3 classes there. Can you explain to us the difference between the classes?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is a great segue to, educating the listeners of people with dwarfism there. So, what I have is called achondroplasia. Don't ask me how to spell it, but it's the most common type of dwarfism. Dwarfism affects 1 in 20,000 people. So I'm classified as a class 2. Nathan Stewart is actually classified. Now he's a class 2 as well. There's another class 1 is like hypoachondroplasia, so a little bit longer length in the limbs. And class 3 is other stuff like conditions called SED. So pretty much what I have is I've got a normal sized torso. Just my limbs are shorter, my arms and legs, and a little bit more of an abnormal head, and also a few underlying issues with the back, curvature of the spine. Where there's other types of dwarfism where they have a lot smaller torso, but their arms and legs obviously, a lot longer in that sense. So, it's all obviously by the genetic genes there.
Yeah, and genetics is a crazy thing.
It is, yeah. I still don't even get my head around it.
Well, I have to study some of it, and I still don't understand it.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to have a child with another short-statured lady, now there's potential that child could be of average height, isn't there?
Yeah, correct. So pretty bizarre. There's a 50% chance that it'll be short-statured or it'll be average height. I've actually got some mates, they live down in Mordialloc, 2 short-statured couple, and they've had short stature daughter, who's the oldest, and then they've just had a newborn who's average height. So that average height kid is going to grow up in a short stature family. It's going to have a really cool perception of life. Yeah, and there's also it's like a 5% chance that it's double dose as well. So that's where I guess both traditions combine, and it's like a 1 or 2 week lifespan. I just say I have a kid with an average height person, an average height chick. There's still a 50% chance as well, which is just crazy. Yeah.
Genetics, mate. It's a baffling thing. Now, with
like so my parents are both average height. I'm actually one of 4. So I've got 2 older sisters. They were like 8 and 10 years older than me, all average height, and a younger brother as well who's average height. So, and there's no one else in my family either who has. So
you're one of a kind in the family.
Yeah, that's it. Unique, yeah. There's only one Mikey Spain in this world as well, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, you said Nathan Stewart has been a great mentor to you. Is there much of a support network or a group for young athletes coming through of short stature?
Yeah, look, I guess on the Nathan Stewart side, it's been so great to have him as a really close mate and go to him to so much things about life, because, we probably experience a lot of similar things, business, life, mates, girls, just all types of stuff. And he's a few years older, so he's got a bit of a wiser head on him. On the support network, yeah, there is. There's actually, so we kind of got this idea from the Americans and the UK. They have their own sporting body for people with dwarfism. So they hold their own national games each year. And you've probably seen me go to a few of those conferences. They get like thousands of people over there. So Australia's kind of just initiated that, a sporting game. So it's called Short Stature Sport Australia. That's only about 12 months old now. So that's going to be huge. And I see a lot of potential in it. Something I wish was around when I was a junior. There's also another organisation called the SSPA, which is Short Stature People of Australia. But it's just one of those things, like, I guess I live in Metro Melbourne. I just knew about it. But there's probably people in, country Victoria in the middle of Australia would probably have never met a short stature person in their life, and they're short statured. So their perception of life would be just so much different. So, yeah.
Well, it's great to hear that initiative is underway in Australia. And it's going to be, as you said, there's massive potential for that, and to continue build on the sport and build on that community. That's absolutely fantastic. Well, Mike, thanks for that insight there. Just one last question: What are the complications and, I guess, risks that you face later down in life? And is exercise one of the ways to, I guess, prolong some of the complications you might face?
Yeah, so that's a great question. That's something I've been more aware of now, getting towards my late 20s. Like our bodies, we've got to look after them so much because there's so many complications, whether it's, people being overweight, because obviously we're a lot shorter, so food is like weight take on pretty easily. A lot more numbness in legs due to the spine if they're not looking after that. Seen some pretty severe injuries. The mobility, breathing's a big one as well. Got a few narrower passageways. So the great thing is I'm aware of that now, and just trying to make my body as strong and as healthy as possible to help me on later on in life. Last thing I want to be doing is getting around in a motorised scooter or something. I want to be running and keeping fit. It's great that I'm aware of that, because I think the first thing is being aware of that, and then being able to create those habits so that you can keep living a great life. I think I know, but don't quote me. So I think my life expectancy as well is maybe like 60 or 70 years old. So yeah, but I think I like to live life to the fullest and tick everything off. Maybe that's why I'm such a go-getter. I just want to accomplish so much stuff for that. So yeah.
Absolutely, mate. And thanks for the insight there, and great messages for anyone with any physical or physiological conditions. take independence of yourself. And we only get one body, and I've become very much hyper aware of that as well. I used to just treat my body as a battering ram, and it gets harder as you get older, doesn't it, mate? It just everything is a little bit harder.
Yeah, and I think, look, that's probably where you come into play. I had so much trust into you when we were training. You know, people might just go to like your stock standard gyms and all that. And people don't really know about our tradition, but I highly recommend, obviously, someone like yourself who actually has so much underlying knowledge of how to do a program for myself, because we've always been cautious of my back and loading the spine and getting everything in the right posture. And, you know, that's something that's why I've come back to you for so much. I've got so much trust in that, rather than just trying to get, not paying our PTs or anything, but, you know, just a normal PT to do something, because they actually don't know a lot about our tradition.
Yeah.
And people
that's a big thing. Get a coach, and get a coach who is willing to, explore and invest. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've created some really good friends. We've got like a few boys chats, got a few mates from America that we're still on. But when we're competing, we're absolute, you know, hate each other. As you always hear those stories, but afterwards, you know, we're just having a laugh. So yeah, pretty special. Like a lot of my mates probably don't really have that connection with a lot of other people. And yeah, so it's a pretty cool thing to have.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Creating those, again, networks, friendships for life. And there's just something about being an athlete. There's something about playing sport, and especially team sports as well. I don't know about individual sport athletes. They're a little different, individual sports, like your tennis players and the racket sports though. You did trial badminton. Was it badminton?
Yeah, badminton
for a little while. You trialed that because there was potential of maybe pursuing a bit of a badminton career of competition.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah, look, I struggled with it. The culture wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I was all like, you know, like in the big picture, I'd love to be a Paralympian one day, but as time gets on, it's looking more further and further away to goal, but anything's possible. Yeah, badminton, I tried it and I was like, yeah, no, this sport isn't for me. I remember there was like this 60-year-old lady trying to train me. So I wanted tunes in there. I wanted like some culture. I'm big on culture. Yeah. Everyone was pretty stiff. Everyone was, you know, a little bit boring. So, yeah, I thrive off a team culture, and I thrive off being around a team. That's why I love footy and basketball and all that stuff. I think that's what brings out my passion.
Absolutely. I remember because you were training with me in the gym at the time, and you're saying, yeah, I've got to get a bit fitter for this badminton pursuit I'm going for. And I've always been really inspired by you, mate, because you're always on to the next thing, but you don't leave things half done as well. Badminton pushed aside. It's always good to try things, but you've gone from footy, you played basketball, you've done athletics, you've done swimming, you've done soccer, you've done powerlifting. Like sporting pursuits are always, and that's just 6 that I can name.
I'm about to tick a 10K run off.
We're about to tick a 10K run, and let's chat about that. So our history together of coach and athlete relationship, as well as being mates through the last 18 years too. First off, you came to me I think you were already at Woodford's, and I started training you and Nath before the games in Canada.
Correct.
Preparing you. It was just general preparation for that.
Yeah, it was only maybe 8 weeks or something like. There wasn't much time left. Yeah.
Yeah, and with the powerlifting now, you can only compete in the bench press competition.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And that's because of you can't have axial loading for you?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got curvature in my spine and narrowing of the spine, and I guess it's a bit of a hazard to do that. So powerlifting, is just all bench press.
Yeah.
Competing against when you came and watched me at the Australian Championships.
Yeah.
There was quadriplegics and like a whole other range of disabilities as well in that. So yeah.
And we'll jump into that day. Paddy Abbas and I came down to Hawthorn.
How cool was that?
Hawthorn weightlifting.
Hawthorn, yeah. I remember it was like nearly 40 degrees that day, and we're in this like gymnasium,
It was hot.
sweating. It was hot. I loved it. It was good.
So 2017, you competed in powerlifting and you got a silver. And what did you bench press that day? What was your total?
Yeah, so I did 95 that day.
95 that day. And then in 2019, we hit a 105 kilo bench, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge. So we cracked over the century. Yeah, so a bit about that. I came away from the World Games being like, I really enjoyed that process of training. That's always been about me. I love the journey and I love the grind. I was training with Nathan Stewart at Anytime Fitness out of Woodford as well. And I just love that. We'd meet up twice a week on a Saturday and just pump the bench out and grab lunch after. And then from that, I was like, okay, I want to try and do something with this. I enjoy training for it. That's when I came back to you because obviously we built that relationship, had so much trust that you'd be able to deliver that. And yeah, then did the 2019 Australian Championships and yeah, did a PB on the day, which is pretty special.
And it was an unreal moment. And that's the best thing about being a coach, watching and being a spectator of when your athletes achieve and compete. Just competing is the great part. When it's a personal best in competition, in some difficult circumstances, like I was sweating in there and I wasn't even doing it. I was sitting on a chair. I couldn't imagine being like you in your suit, the nerves.
That's a chance in sport. Yeah, like I remember getting weighed in, you got to strip down. You get weighed in and you just weighed in and you see people like fail. So you're watching it. You see people fail and like gets in your mindset and then you just got to get in the zone before it. Yeah, it's such a mentally challenging sport. Yeah.
Yeah. And you decided that the bench, you're going to put that to the side. Is that something that you might take up again in the later years?
Yeah, definitely always keep an open book.
Yeah.
And open for it. Yeah, definitely will. I think. But yeah, I just wanted to put it aside for the moment. Got a little bit overtraining for it. I think I just needed that extra goal at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from here, I remember because this was the end of our little bit of a coach-athlete relationship for a while. Because you're like, Jared, I'm gonna try something different. I said, mate, go for it. I've always loved watching your journey and pursuits of sporting and fitness. And you decided that boxing was now on the cards, and you went down to Fit to Box with Rog. Rog, a great man, and I still see you training down there quite a bit.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so I think boxing was something I've always wanted to learn and pick up that skill. And yeah, I remember hitting you up and I was like, oh, do you know any good boxing gyms around the area? You're like, yeah, hit this guy up, Fit the Box with Campbell there as well. So yeah, built a pretty cool relationship with Roger Campbell down there. Yeah, and I just love boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like meditation, just punching those pads and pretty good for the head. And yeah, helped me with a lot of weight loss as well and a lot of fitness. So yeah, definitely get back there once gyms open back up.
Yeah, definitely. And I highly recommend anyone, if they're looking in the Southeast area, if they're looking to get into some boxing, go see Rog down at Fit to Box. He is one of a kind, Rog. And our man Campbell, best of luck with your upcoming surgery. We were at the fight, Mike. You and I were ready.
Yeah, we rolled in together.
Yeah.
That was a cool night.
Yeah, it was a great night. First pro fight for Campbell. He'll be back in the canvas soon and dominating that ring. That's it. But okay, now the current goal, Mikey Spain, your current goal is a 10K run. We've been working towards that goal for a little while now. Where are we currently at with the goal? Can you tell the people?
Yeah, like it's possible and it's achievable, and that's what's the exciting thing about it. It's going to do a run today, weather permitting. Hopefully the rain dries up a bit, but did 40 minutes non-stop on Wednesday night. So that's the longest I've ever run non-stop as far, and that was just shy of 5Ks. So we're still 2 weeks out from my 5K time trial, and yeah, we're going to hit that. Yeah, so feeling really fit at the moment. This lockdown, I guess, is I've turned it into a really big positive. I guess I don't have any distractions or whatnot, and I'm just so focused to I'm eating really well, dieting well, and keeping up with my training, not missing that. So yeah, we're gonna hit that, and that's gonna be cool. I can't wait to hit that.
And I
That's
look
gonna be
forward
huge.
to it. I absolutely look forward to it. I reckon I might even come down to the track that day and watch the
Yeah.
5K time trial.
We'll have to have a few ISO beers after to celebrate.
Mate, always. I'm always down for a few ISO beers. You can count on that. Now, let's go. You're an inspiration with your sporting pursuits, and especially for any short-statured athletes, but any athletes in general, in your determination and your grit there. And also for the way you've approached lockdown. Now, you're still kicking goals. As you said, you hit a PB just the other week with your longest run, 40 minutes. You know what? I can't even run for 40 minutes. I'm running at the moment. I get to 25 minutes. I put the white flag up. I'm done. It hurts. There's that little pain barrier you have to get up.
Threshold.
Yeah,
Threshold,
absolutely.
yeah.
You have to get over that pain barrier. But also, you've started a business in lockdown. ISOB is a fantastic initiative there. And you got a promotion at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many people are doing that.
Not many people are getting promotions at work.
Yeah, people are trying to take their job. Yeah.
So
So there's a lot happening. Yeah.
And where can we take the running? Is there any complications for you with running? Is a half marathon one day in the sights? Like where?
Yeah, it's becoming more and more realistic and a goal to hit. Like half marathon, why not a marathon? Like that'll be huge. Yeah, I want to take it somewhere. I enjoy it. I do stuff because I enjoy it, and I really enjoy running. Just having my headphones on, listening to my music, visioning stuff, getting that sweat, getting that pump. Yeah, why not? Let's tick the 10K off, and then we'll readdress the goals. And then I can enter something like the Melbourne Marathon or something when that comes back. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be a momentous day, mate. I'm looking forward to
seeing. But yeah, we're just gonna tick stuff off at a time. But yeah, I've had a lot happen to me. I've always been that person. I hate it when people are like, "Oh, mate, what have you been up to?" You talk to someone like, "Oh, it's that same shit, different day." I want to be the person where it's like, "What are you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, heaps, mate. Like, where do I start?" Like, I've always liked doing stuff. I like being proactive, and that's probably my driven personality. I'm just such a go-getter, and yeah, maybe that comes from such an early age, playing sport, playing competitive, really trying to prove people wrong, and just have fun and have a crack. So yeah, heaps has happened during ISO. Look, it's maybe one of the best things, having a lot of downtime to really reflect where I want to go now.
Yeah.
You probably get caught up in a bit of a cycle, living for the weekends a little bit. Just doing random stuff, but this has been really good. So just got to make sure I persist this and carry it on once we're out of lockdown.
Absolutely, that's it, mate. And that's the key to training is consistency.
Yeah.
I've
got it up on my fridge. I don't know if you can see it.
Consistency is key. Absolutely, mate. I love that quote. It's one of the principles of the 6 principle, one of our training principles. Now, we're going to go into a few of the topical questions here on the Ramble On podcast. Yeah, mate, you're a big NFL fan yourself. We do often chat about, just started yesterday. We do often chat about the NFL. Now, who do you support? Who's your team?
Yeah, so look, I'm actually a Patriots man. I'm not a bandwagoner. For all the listeners out there, so my mum's actually American. She's from Boston, so always had a really big soft spot for a lot of all the Boston teams. So yeah, no Tom Brady this year, but that's what I like though. Cam Newton's in, which is pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him do some work.
Absolutely, mate. And then I'm putting together a bit of a Ramble On football team. Now, the Ramble On football team. What position do you think you'd be best utilized in?
Oh, yeah, I could be that secret weapon, couldn't I?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the X Factor. That's a great question. Wouldn't put me on defense. Everyone probably just get past me. I don't know, mate. Like, sure. Where do you think?
Oh, I reckon maybe a running back, bit of speed, got the lateral movement from basketball.
Bit of agility.
Yeah. How about the ramble on running back, RB1?
Let's do it.
All right, we've got
Lock
our
me
running
in. Lock
back
me in.
locked in. So we've got a quarterback, we've got a running back, we've got a wide receiver. The team's coming together. I need to start interviewing some really, really big guys to put on that offensive line. Let's get
I
some
like it. That's
up
cool.
in there. All right, mate. Now, next question. Bang. This is one of my favorite questions of the discussion. Favorite '60s band? Who?
Yeah, I like this one. I like your '60s, man. I was listening to your two other podcasts, and yeah, Jamie said it. So I'm a huge Beatles fan.
Lovely.
Abbey Road is one of my all-time favorite albums. I'm digging at the moment though, which Tom Wilson said, Rolling Stones, the song "Sympathy for the Devil."
Yeah.
I've been listening to that running, and that gets me fired up.
Nice. And if I was going to say, can you give us a little 10-second snippet of a '60s song? What would you belt out for us? What's your karaoke tune here?
Yeah, let's go a spanner. I'm going to play one. Let's get it up. One sec.
What's the man got for us?
Yeah,
I love this. A bit of preparation. That's great. He's done research. All you future guests, do your research. Here we go. Now,
ready?
Go, I'm ready.
One sec. This one. You hear it?
No, we can't hear it. We can't hear. You're going to have to sing it for us, mate, if you can hear it.
Oh, damn. Mate, this is one of those moments where you need to feel comfortable being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have a shocking voice for everyone listening.
I love it.
There must be some kind of way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. I can't tell you nowhere, there's too much confusion, and I can't get no relief.
I love it, mate. Absolutely love it. Thank you.
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, I wanted to play it. I reckon any song with a guitar solo to start off with is badass. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the '60s, man. I think that's just a generation of music everyone has to listen to, appreciate, and you'll learn to love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, absolutely. '60s, '70s. For me, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. I just constantly am listening to those two bands. Now, I want to ask a couple other questions here before I get on to your question for me. Now, what have been some of the more difficult times throughout childhood, throughout just playing sport and competition that you've faced? Some of the adversity possibly, and how you went about moving on from that and using that as more motivation.
Bit of fire. Yeah, look, I guess I feel like I am pretty fortunate. In a way, I've got a really good group of mates. Grew up in a pretty cool area down here in southeast Melbourne. Went to some pretty cool high schools, but yeah, definitely had a lot of moments where I think as humans we strive to gain acceptance of others and a sense of belonging. And yeah, we'll probably date back to those early footy days when you're playing a game that wasn't built for you. You're playing with people that you simply can't get up, and that was probably something that, a bit of a reality check that was tough. I could have looked at that two ways and had given up on a lot of stuff, but I was just so adamant to get out there and make the most of this. This is I guess I'm born in a way. I've always said it. It's like, why am I trying to fit in? There's times, why are you trying to fit in when you're born to stand out? In a way, so yeah, just trying to make the most. Trying to make the most. See what I can do, because there's 100 things that I can do, and not focus on the negatives. But yeah, look, obviously, high school. Yeah, that was probably a challenge. Seeing a lot of mates play sport. I was still fortunate enough to play basketball. It's something I want to try to get back up and running. I actually had a meeting with the people down in MSAC before lockdown. They gave us the all clear, and because no one was really showing initiative, because there might be that 13-year-old Mikey Spain out there, and Melbourne, that I'd love, and as you say, as coaching, it gives you so much satisfaction helping out others. I hope that answered the question. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that quote you said, I think that's going to be the banner quote of this podcast. I absolutely love that. Now, we've touched on it a bit, but what would you suggest and what would you recommend for young athletes when they are facing probably these more self-doubt and mental decisions? What would you suggest to be a line of process for them? Like, would you? Is there?
I guess, yeah. Like, first off, you got to accept it. Like, if you don't accept it, it's just going to keep snowballing and building up. But then maybe you work out a way. Okay, where are the positives out of this? What are my strengths? Where can I go with this? End of the day, you want to do something, that you love doing. If you want to play footy, like, just go and play footy. I guess we probably get caught up a lot, and I still do as well, with what other people think. And at the end of the day, you just got to, I'm still guilty of it, you just got to tell yourself it's all about what you think about. End of the day, what you think is all that matters, and how you do stuff. Yeah, you just got to persist. I guess that's the journey of life. Life's a roller coaster. There's always going to be up and downs, but you just got to take those downs and turn them into something else. Use it as learning. But yeah, just keep persisting. I'd probably tell kids, and yeah, just go for it. You got nothing to lose.
Absolutely, mate. I love that, and I would encourage anyone, maybe having these thoughts, to reach out to people. Reach out to Mikey. Mikey would be an absolute fantastic mentor, and for anyone thinking that, oh, maybe this sport isn't for me because of any particular reason. They feel like they don't fit in, or they don't look like everybody else. Sport is an accepting, wonderful, beautiful thing, and competition is so important for everyone. I think I'm a competitive beast. Like, my whole life is a competition.
Yeah.
And
try and get that one step better.
Yeah, that's just how I'm put together. Mate, great message there. I've really enjoyed this one. I'm going to finish this one up with, what is your question for me?
Ooh. Throw the spanner there. Let me think of one. Question for you. Okay. Look, yeah, I guess I've been a really big follower of your journey. Open up your own gym. You're a bit like myself. You're always doing that next best thing, being proactive, starting your own podcast, which is pretty cool. What's your ultimate goal that you want to achieve, I guess? Yeah, by the time you're 30 years old.
By the time I'm 30, so 2 years. Look, I just want to enjoy work, and I guess that's the big thing about our working life, and that's what ISO has been huge for. The need to, like, we all see the inherent need to work so much, and sometimes life gets caught up in that. I'm going to quit football because I might get injured for work. I'm not going to do this because I've got work the next. I'm not going to go out for dinner with my mates at 8:30 at night because I got work early the next morning. Like, I have 6 a.m. starts a lot, and I'm never bounded by these things. I've never wanted to feel like that the risks of, what if I get injured and I can't work my job? Well, that's me restricting myself from living, and like me not going out to go see one of my favorite bands play and get home at 11:30 at night because I have work at 6 a.m. the next day. Again, that's restricting me from living, and I don't want to live like that. And I think so many people are caught up living like that. So I guess my goal by the age of 30 is purely just to work for myself, and I've now made that jump. I'm not affiliated with working anymore. I've put my destiny into my own hands, which is an exciting and scary proposition as well. Like, I am now responsible for my sole income. Like, there's nothing else coming in.
Yeah.
As you said, I'm running my own gym at the moment. my own business out of a gym, but I want my own facility. Like that's the goal over the next 12
That'd be
months, mate. And having blokes like you there, having blokes like Tommy there as well. That's what's gonna complete me, I guess, and give me that satisfaction, that job satisfaction that I'm looking for. It's just having friends and guys who have been on awesome journeys, and other people, like-minded individuals who are competitors and just want to be fit, want to be healthy, want to be active, and want to have some fun. Like, I think that's where I'm headed over the next, well, we're 30 in 18 months, I think.
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, it's a weird age, interesting age.
It's flashed by, mate. Like to think about, we started playing footy together 18 years ago is crazy. Like that's it's life just goes by, and then and people are so restricted. They put these restrictions upon themselves with living. And I guess, like you mentioned, when you were preparing for the 2013 games, like there's so many things that you had to sacrifice. Yeah, we do have to make sacrifices at times, but also I don't want to be the person that says, oh, I'm not doing this because of work, because work is what's going to fund my ability to live. No, living is what funds my ability to live, and work's just a little part of it. It's just something I have to do to pay the bills, keep the lights on, provide for my future family. So that's a good question, mate. And I'm very keen to see what is in store for you next. The next games, 2021, 2022, whatever it may be. I'm very keen to see you get over to Germany, compete there, and also this 10K goal. Let's get after it, mate. It's been a fantastic journey so far with you, and I'm looking forward to the next 18 years.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, like, wouldn't have thought we'd have such a good friendship. Probably not until after footy finished at St. Paul's, and now we do, which is pretty special. And it's also a really cool, unique friendship as well. It's not like my mates who, always been my mates where we socialise together and stuff. I guess that our relationship comes down to what I want to achieve, and sport and personal development, which is huge. And that's really unique. So yeah, it's really cool, mate.
That's it. It's important to have these people in your networks. In all facets of life. So for anyone out there, I highly encourage you to find a mentor, find a role model, find people that can help you achieve where you want to go, because that's what life's about. It's about people helping others get to where we want to go in life. Mate, thank you very much. You've been an absolute fantastic guest. Go get that running and enjoy your day.
Thank you. Yeah, really enjoyed this conversation. It's been great. And wish you all the best moving forward. I can't wait to see the end result.
Thank you, mate. See you later.